Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dhruv. I manage the business unit for HP Aruba at Ingram Micro. We have esteemed guest with us today, distribution manager for Aruba. Peter, if you would like to introduce yourself to the crowd, please.
Thank you so much, Ruth. And firstly, thanks to Ingram to have this session with me. Always an honor to be with my distributors, spending time with them, and then with Ingram having this podcast with me. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Peter. Peter, if you can just highlight about your role, what you do at Aruba.
Sure.
That would be fantastic.
100%. I'm the MEA distribution manager, which in theory entails the whole of Middle East and Africa. Luckily, not a lot of countries, only about 65.
Okay.
And about 25 distributors, so it keeps me busy and out of mischief.
Absolutely, fantastic. Peter, coming to something serious about the business, what do you think is the direction for Aruba for the next 3 years?
Perfect. So if you look at in the last 10 years, 10 years ago, if anybody asked what is Aruba or HPE Aruba now, with the name change, HPE Aruba, but if you go 10 years back, everybody would say switches and APs.
Correct.
Switches and access points.
Yes.
What has happened in the last 10 years or 8 years, we have really evolved since HPE acquired Aruba as well. If you look at, we introduced ClearPass, your network access control.
Correct.
Which was, because it is vendor agnostic, we could integrate the ClearPass solutions from a NAC perspective to any vendor installations in there, and we've seen a lot of customers appreciate. If you look at the evolution, actually investing in Aruba ClearPass, and it's giving a great offer to them. If you look at the evolution thereafter, about 5 years afterwards, the last couple of, I'd say, 8 months acquisitions we did, you can see clearly the direction where Aruba is going.
Absolutely, yes.
We've moved away. We haven't moved away from our core business, which is the access points and switches, and we've continuously evolving it. But if you look at direction with security, cybersecurity is a big threat and a big concerning point for a lot of customers. We've acquired a cloud. A lot of customers are investing in cloud, moving the application to cloud, how to protect it. And with the acquisition of Access coming in there, we really stamped our authority down as being one of the leaders in cloud security. Another acquisition we did, if you look at the connectivity part, a lot of telcos and service providers, and you'll hear me talking a bit more about that later on, the extension of 5G, handing over to your corporate network, having control over your 5G network, a private 5G. And that's with the acquisition with Ethernet. So if you look at Access, we're expanding our security into the cloud. With Ethernet, we're expanding our network connectivity from inside the organizations to externally, and then providing a private cloud 5G for yourself, for customers as well.
Wonderful, Peter. So, because you answered all this, just to understand, what do you think is going to be the area of growth, in the coming years for Aruba?
So for Aruba, obviously, I mentioned cybersecurity. It's a big growth area. With the acquisition of Access, it opened up a big TAM for us. And that is where a lot of customers are going on. Again, taking your security from on-prem into cloud, a big focus area for us. Another area of big growth for us from Aruba perspective is in the SMB market.
Okay.
The SMB market is continuous growing. We're growing year over year, 70 to 80%. We see the market is not only also growing year over year. So that's, again, security, SMB, and then your traditional Wi-Fi networking as well. We'll still see a big growth in the normal traditional networking as well. But the big 2 bets or 3 bets, cloud security, SMB, as a service business, together with the telcos.
Okay, wonderful. So because you mentioned SMB, how important do you think in the coming years this segment is going to be for Aruba and for us as a distributor? This point is coming from a fact that we were not predicting such big growth in FY23 on the SMB business, but we ended up almost having a 50% growth internally when we talk about the SMB business. So what is your view about the SMB business?
We knew the SMB business was big when we launched the product sets. We didn't know it was going to be this big.
Absolutely.
Even if you look at the supply forecasting, we had supply because of the high demand. We couldn't supply quick enough. And also what we're seeing is we started off with a small product set, and we've expanding our product sets. And we keep on expanding it because we see there's such a big requirement. If you look at the SMB space, when we brought Instant On in, we removed a lot of the enterprise features and put it into our SME solutions.
Yeah.
Now we're actually putting some of those features back because we see that even an SMB customer, coffee shop, a small school, they've got the same technology requirement regarding security, connectivity than a big enterprise. So what we're doing is actually bringing some of the features back and are expanding our product set.
Wonderful. So we have talked about the technology, the channel segments that we are focusing on. Coming to the most important point, I believe. What according to you role as a distribution manager? You're heavily connected with the distributors. What according to you, Ingram? What kind of role Ingram is playing today? For the channel ecosystem. Like let's say from one segment, other segment, like a role that Ingram is playing along with Aruba to bring in new business or developments we are doing from our side. What do you believe are the key things?
Look, a lot of people thought a couple of years ago that the role of distribution with cloud and everything coming in will get less. I had a perception, and I'm glad I was right. Distribution is becoming much more important. If you look at distribution's role in delivering services like as a service, managed services on behalf of partners, assisting partners with those type of business outcomes, it's becoming critical that distributors is actually more important nowadays than 10 years ago. And the value add that Ingram is bringing to the party with their as a service offering, with their partner reach, with the services they're offering in the back end of the products that they're distributing is key for us to grow the business. Ingram, not only in the Middle East, across the whole region, is very important in our top 3 distributors across the whole world. And the reason why they the top 3 is not only because they size, but the value service they bring behind it.
Absolutely. So, we are 11 days away from FY23. If I would like to know from you the top 3 priorities that, Ingram should have for FY24, what will they be?
Grow the market.
Absolutely.
Grow the revenue.
Yeah, absolutely.
But look, growing the revenue is from a Aruba perspective, my view, in 3 key areas, which Ingram needs to assist from a Aruba perspective. Focus areas is network as a service, with all the service packs that's coming out from Aruba as well in Q1, delivering and offering that service to customers through the partner base, big focus for us. Aruba is also heavily invested in the data center networking, in the data center side, a huge TAM for us, a lot more developers going on, a lot more product sets coming out in the data center, and we see the growth of for example, the Pensando series, which is a firewall and a top of rack switch, all built in one unique, the only real offering in the market. We need to take these unique opportunities to the next level in the data center side. And then third thing, I think I mentioned it 3 times already, SMB.
Absolutely.
It's still a huge area of growth for us. Like I said, we're growing almost double the numbers year over year, but the market share that we have is still very low. So the growth opportunities, especially on that side. So we can expect, if you bring these 3 technologies together, we should look at about 30% growth year over year from this year. And this year we still, again, had a phenomenal year.
Thank you so much, Peter. Peter, I think so. I will leave you with the last note from my side. I think so. The year is coming to an end. Looking at where we were in FY22 and where we have reached in FY23, at many times we forget to say that word thank you. So, I really believe the partnership or the engagement we have had in the last 1 year has been fantastic. How we have grown with Aruba has been fantastic.
Exactly.
And I expect that we're going to have such a wonderful partnership in the next year as well. So big thank you to you.
Thanks to you too, Dhruv. And we as a vendor also don't always say thank you so much.
Yes.
But again, Ingram's market share, Ingram's business, Ingram's revenue have grown year over year to the new heights. So the bar is high.
Yes.
And we want to say thank you for all the business support you guys have provided us in growing the Aruba business. Thanks so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Peter.